one I have a hard copy for. I submitted only one hard copy for the main statement.
All right. So what we do, while this is turned out, can you please explain to the Commission when you are appointed and how you are appointed in the position of CEO at
Thank you. At the time I saw the advertisement in the local newspapers, I was working for the Gambia Bureau of Statistics as the Director of Administration and Human Resources. I came across the advertisement for the first time. If I recall, it was advertised twice. So the first time I saw it, I kind of ignored it. But it caught my attention anyway. So after some time, I saw it pop up again in the local newspapers. Then I called the attention of my husband to it. And I informed him that I saw this vacancy being advertised, but I am interested in it, but the general perception with area councils. So I told him that I am a little bit not sure. Yeah, I am a little bit, I have doubt.
What do you mean when you say the general perception of the area council?
That it is a political environment, and you can't have your independence if you want to survive. Yes.
Please proceed. And
my husband encouraged me to apply, which I did. After some time, I was called on the phone by one Modugay. I believe he was or is still the HR advisor to KMC.
Modugay?
Yes, Modugay. To confirm if I am the one who applied for the position of a CEO. I answered in the positive, and he asked if I am really interested in the position. Then I told him that if I am accorded the opportunity, I will deliver to the best of my ability. So sometime later, I was invited to go and attend the interview at the Ministry of Lands and local government. Yeah, by the Local Government Service Commission. I attended the interview with, if I recall, I remember seeing the acting CEO at the time of the council, Jaja Cham. I remember seeing him as an interview, but at that time I did not know he was a staff of the council. We were together because I learned that they conducted the interview in 2 days. So for our batch, we were in the same cohort. I was called upon, I attended the interview, I answered the questions I was asked, and then I was thanked and asked to go and wait for their response, which I did. Unfortunately for me, I think within 24 hours, I was called by the chairperson or the chairman of the Local Government Service Commission that I have been successful to be appointed to the position of CEO, and he congratulated me, which I accepted.
Okay.
Then a few weeks later, I received my appointment letter.
To the position of a CEO?
Yes, to the position of a CEO.
And you assumed responsibility?
Yes, that's right.
Now, what was the environment at KMC when you were appointed as CEO?
Like I said, my husband encouraged me and told me that the environment has changed. And when I joined them, that's what I thought I found there. That's what I thought I found. So on the surface, the environment was welcoming because I can remember when I reported to work and reported to the Lord Mayor's office, as should be the case, he welcomed me with open arms, and he informed me that he was really pleased that I eventually ended up being appointed as a CEO, because he told me that when he saw me at the interview and the way I interacted with them, he was impressed with my performance. And he was really praying in his mind that I would be appointed as the CEO. That motivated me. With regards to my interaction with my colleagues, it was the same. Everybody was kind of happy to have me as a CEO, given the fact that I am a female CEO. So I settled in quickly, yes.
Your role as CEO, this would probably be defined in your appointment letter.
Yes, that's right.
Now, how do you understand the function of a CEO working for an area council?
Yeah, as stated in my appointment, I am responsible for managing the affairs of the council, the day-to-day performance of the executive, and the administrative functions of the council, and as well as the implementation of all its decisions. And as the accounting officer of the council, it is also my responsibility to supervise, monitor.
Are you reading from?
From my statement.
You don't have to read.
Oh.
Well, if you...
No, I just want to, as stated in my appointment letter, I mentioned that.
Yes, but you've worked as a CEO.
Yes.
You are still a CEO.
Yes.
You don't have to explain word for word in relation to your statement. You just want to have an understanding.
Yes.
As to the role of a CEO in relation to, in your understanding.
Thank you. From my experience, as a CEO, I am in charge of managing the affairs of the council and implementing the directives of the council in line with the laid down rules and regulations of the local government service. And I also serve as the interface between the staff of the council and the council itself. When I say the council, I mean the chairperson and the councillors. Yeah, anything that requires their attention from the administration, I am the one who forward it to the council for consideration and decision making.
Yes, so your roles are also defined in the Local Government Act?
Yes.
2002, section 43. Where it says, and I will read, the chief executive officers shall manage the affairs of the council and shall be answerable to the council and be subject to its direction and control. Now 2, a chief executive shall in the exercise of his or her function report to the chairperson. Do you see that?
Yeah, that's
This goes
right.
on. Number 3, without prejudice to the generality of the provisions of this section, a chief executive shall be an ex-officio member of all committees of the council, be responsible for the day-to-day performance of the executive and administrative functions.
That's right.
Supervise, monitor, and coordinate the activities of the department of the council. Be accounting officer of council. Be the custodian of all documents and records of council and perform such functions as are required by the Act or any other enactment. So section 42 talks about the administration in general. That the chief executive shall be an executive for each council whose office shall be an office in the 2, the chief executive shall be appointed by a local government service commission after consultation with the chairperson, who may attend all proceedings and deliberations of the commission when considering the appointment of the chief executive. Now, you have these functions to perform as CEO, correct?
Yes. The Local Government Act.
Yes.
2000, the financial manual.
Yes.
Yeah.
And so they all explain your accountability.
Yes.
Responsibility in relation to your functions.
That's right.
Now, how are you answerable to council? How do you understand that requirement?
From my experience, in terms of spending, if the spending amount exceeds the threshold, it should be referred to the council for approval to be given to the administration to go ahead and implement. Yes, and also in terms of, there are certain category of staff that the council can employ. So in those respects, it has to be referred to the council for the council to give the approval for the administration to go ahead and implement the necessary procedures to engage that category of staff.
And what is this category as far as you can recall?
From grade 1 to 3.
Grade 1 to 3?
Yes, the council can appoint.
All right.
Yes.
And 3 above?
3 above has to be referred to the local government service commission for appointment. Or in the case wherein the council appoints, must report the appointments to the local government service commission for endorsement.
So what is the process as well for disciplining staffs, the disciplinary process?
The council has a certain right or authority over the category of staff that the council appoints.
Yes.
Yeah, for staff above that category, it has to pass through the establishment and appointment committee.
Yes.
When the establishment and appointment committee does their investigation or do their investigation, the recommendations from the committee must be also tabled at the General Council for the General Council to endorse. And once the General Council endorses, must be forwarded to the local government and service commission.
How about staffs above grade 3?
Yeah, I'm talking about in terms of staff above.
Generally?
Yeah, generally.
Now, in your time as CEO, have you had cause as a council to recommend for the discipline of any staff?
I think I can recall few cases.
And these cases are?
The Director of Internal Audit, Mr. Fufana, and one Omar Jete.
Who is Omar Jete?
Omar Jete is a license collector, if I recall properly.
What happened in his case?
He was accused of receiving bribery or was engaged in fraudulent practices.
Yes.
And his case was forwarded to the establishment and appointment committee. The committee deliberated on it and reached a decision which was forwarded to the General Council. The General Council passed it or approved. Then we forwarded it was forwarded to the Local Government Service Commission.
Yes, so that is the process.
Yes.
Now, the expenditure in council, what is the role of the CEO in expenditure?
The CEO has up to a certain limit that it can spend.
Yes.
Without referring to the General Council.
Yes.
But above that limit, if it is in the case of awarding contracts, it has to be approved by the General Council first, and then referred to the contracts committee, which the CEO is the chairman, the chairperson.
Yes.
Yes.
Now let me read to you what we have in the financial manual.
Okay.
Page 19, section 305, talks about authority for expenditure. It says, the authority to incur expenditure is vested in council through budget approval. The finance director shall not make any payment nor accept any charge in his accounts unless authorized by the chief executive and in accordance with the monetary thresholds approved by each council. Now, as regard the monetary threshold, it should be noted that up to a given amount, the CEO can approve. Up to a certain amount, the CEO is required to consult and seek clearance from the chairman or mayor. Beyond a given amount, the CEO is required to refer such expenditure to council to seek approval. So, going by the manual, there are 3 categories or stages of approval. First is there has to be a threshold passed by
the council. Yes.
By way of resolution.
Yes.
That, for instance, the CEO can approve expenditure in relation to amounts starting from $0 to $100,000.
Yes.
And then beyond $100,000 all the way to $200,000, maybe the mayor should approve. And above that threshold, this council should approve.
Yes, that's
now,
right.
Is this followed by KMC when you were there?
When I was there, I tried as much as possible to ensure that we operate according to the guidelines that dictates our operation.
Yes.
That is for amounts from 0 to 100, and most of those payments, even in that case, the Lord Mayor was consulted during my time.
The Lord Mayor was consulted?
Yes.
But
because
Lord Mayor was consulted?
What happens is every morning the CEO has a briefing with the mayor, and it is in that briefing that the daily activities to be implemented or executed are discussed and finalized for the administration to go ahead and implement.
Yes.
Yes.
So in that briefing is where you get the approval?
Yes, even for amounts below 100,000.
So how do you get the approval?
Mostly it's verbal through the mayor. We look at the payments at hand, and he okays the payments. Even for amounts above that, yeah, because I can recall when I first assumed the position of the CEO, there was a list of payment that was presented to me to look into and try to pay them in sequence.
Yes.
Yeah, to pay them, like to pay one contractor or a supplier, then move to the other contractor or a supplier. It was given to me at the mayor's office. The mayor, if I recall, Kanjura Kani was there, because they said they had issues with those payments before I joined the council. At the time, they had issues with Jaja Cham, and the Jaja was not willing to honor those payments. So when I came in, that is the first thing that I was engaged on, to go ahead and pay them. And some of the amounts, they are up to 300,000 plus.
Do you know why the Jaja Cham would not honor those payments as acting CEO?
From what I had, I cannot verify, because I did not discuss with Jaja that Jaja was not happy. Yes, so I think they had some kind of understanding among themselves, Jaja, Kanjura, and the mayor, which Jaja felt that his part of the agreement was not honored. So as a revenge, he decided not to honor those payments.
When you came in as CEO, did you verify as to the reasons as to why those payments would not be paid, and then whether they were genuine and refusal or not?
To be frank, I did not have time to verify.
What do you mean when you say you don't have time to verify?
Because this payment was just given to me, and I was asked to go ahead and pay.
But you could have verified.
I agree.
You could have verified.
I agree.
Yes, because then you know you have your manual to guide you. You have your responsibilities. So therefore, you have a finance director. Was there a finance director at the time?
Yeah, I think it was myself and the finance director who were engaged on it.
Who was this finance director?
Dr. Aluketa. We came in at the same time.
Dr. Aluketa?
Yes.
Now, the payments were eventually approved?
Yes.
So every morning...
The payments on that list, yes, was all paid.
So every morning, your evidence is that you will have, do you call it an SMT, or is it a meeting purely between the CEO and the mayor? No,
it's different from the SMT. This is a normal routine.
Daily briefings.
Daily briefing.
CEO and the mayor.
CEO and the mayor and the finance director.
Now, the approvals. If they, so Dr. Keita would always be present, or mostly be present in this?
Mostly in Dr. Keita's present, but sometimes too, he was not
present.
Yes,
as well.
He was not present.
So if the mayor is to say that a certain payment is not approved, would you still go ahead and pay?
No, if he advised against it, we do not.
You will not pay?
No.
But would that not be contrary to the dictates of the manual? Because if you do not have the threshold, then it means every other payment will be subject to the direction and control of the mayor or the political authority, if you don't have the threshold. So do you not think that there needed to be a threshold so that you know up to a certain limit, you don't even need to consult the mayor. You have your reporting mechanisms after you will be responsible for those payments if anything goes wrong, but then you take responsibility. These are rights given to the CEO by the manual.
Yeah, you are right, Council. But At the time, in our case, we just newly came in and we were trying to settle down. So we relied mostly on the information that was given to us at the time. But as we gradually started picking up, so we started having issues here and there. Yeah.
Now, did you write at any time to council to request for these thresholds?
No, I was just told that, yeah.
I mean, during your time as CEO, did you at any point in time write to council or to the mayor to request for these thresholds so that you are well guided?
No, I never did.
Is there any reason?
I guess I was carried away by the fact that I was informed that up to a certain amount, the CEO can go ahead, and above that amount, it has to be referred to the mayor, and above the threshold for the mayor too, it has to be referred to the general council.
Yes, but regardless of even that supposed threshold, the idea is you have your daily briefings with the mayor every morning, and all payments or most payments are discussed.
That's right.
Regardless of the threshold.
That's right. Regardless of the threshold.
Yes. The other issue is, do you have senior management meetings?
Yes.
How often?
During my time, we used to have it every fortnight.
Every fortnight?
Yes, but at the time I assumed the position, I was told that it stopped for a while.
Okay.
Yes.
So, but you have attended some senior management meetings?
Yes, I do.
And who will be present in these meetings?
It's myself as a chairperson. The deputy mayor used to attend, and the senior management team of the council, the administration.
All right. Now, the awarding of contracts. No, but before that, the approval for payment. You have said mostly it will be verbal. Were there any situation where it will be written that the mayor will approve on these vouchers? No,
we don't. The verbal is discussion at the office of the mayor, yes. But when it comes to the implementation, I try to get written endorsements.
From the mayor?
From the mayor, mostly.
And sometimes you have this written endorsement from the mayor before payment?
Yes.
Do you have any copies of vouchers in?
Right now?
Not right now. If you don't have it right now, maybe we'll give you time to produce them.
Yes, if I am giving time, I will be able to produce the vouchers, yes.
Very well.
Especially in the case of requests from the councillors. Yes. I normally don't act without the endorsement of the mayor.
Yes, we have seen some requests from some councillors. For instance, yesterday we dealt with the ones for Kemo Bojang. I'm not sure whether it was your time, but these were requests that were written to the mayor directly.
Yes.
And so when you have a request directly from the councillors to the mayor, the mayor will meet it to the CEO?
Yeah, through his support staff. You know, he has a secretary, he has a personal aide. So normally the secretary forwards those requests to my secretary, who will also submit them to my office.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how many committees were on the ground when you assumed office as CEO? Do you recall?
Yes, the committees were many, but the main ones, I recall the contracts committee, the finance committee, establishment and appointment, the ballot committee, you have the accounts committee, arts and culture was active, environment was active, and yeah.
Now
these are the ones I can recall for now.
Okay. So in relation to the committees, we have the contracts committee. What was your role, the contracts committee, as CEO?
As the CEO, I am the chairperson of the contracts committee.
And what do you do as a committee?
We sit over contract awards, normally when we receive the approval from the General Council to award a contract or tender certain goods and services, we sit as a contracts committee, review it. If it has to go through a tender process, we follow the tender process. If the amount is below the threshold for tender, we employ single sourcing or the RFQ method.
Now, have you been following that as a council in relation to the payment to contractors? Do you ensure that the contracts committee in all cases will sit over awards that are to be given to contractors and make determinations therein? Is that the case in all situations?
In certain cases, we followed the regulations.
When you were there?
Yes, when I was there.
In certain cases?
Yes.
Okay. And other cases?
But yeah, in some cases, especially when it comes to giving out informal contracts.
What do you mean when you say informal contracts?
For example, the cleaning of drains, clearing sand from the highways.
Yes.
Yeah, with regards to those, it was difficult to.
Why? Why was it difficult?
From my experience,
yes.
I used to receive the advice from the Director of Services.
Yes.
And the Director of Services also would tell me that he was advised, or he was giving a list at the mayor's office for the administration to go ahead and carry out those works.
No, but would that not be wrong? Would that not be wrong?
It's not right, definitely.
So why would you approve it, the payments? Is there any reason?
It's something that I found on the ground. Yeah, it was, for me personally, I didn't approve it. And I was thinking of a way to come around it and try to see that this thing does not continue forever.
Let me give you an example. Lankara Mosware. You know Lankara Mosware?
Yes, I do.
Who is Lankara Mosware?
He's a contractor I found working with the council.
Yes. And what does he do?
He does petty contracts.
Petty contracts?
Yes.
So Lankara Mosware testified here. Mm-hmm. And there were several payments given to Lankara Mosware, or made to Lankara Mosware.
Yes.
But we know that those payments do not follow proper procedure for several payments.
Mm-hmm.
And let me just show you some vouchers. So I have voucher number LGC slash DAK slash KMC slash 005 in relation to payments made to Lankara Mosware. Now first look at it and then tell us whether it is your time.
Okay.
And then I can ask you questions along those lines.
Okay. Yeah, the first one is mine.
Yes, these were payments made to Lankara Mosware.
Yes, during my time.
During your time?
Yes.
Please, let me, were those payments in line with procurement regulations? Did they follow procurement regulations?
Like I explained earlier, Council, these requests used to come through to my office through the Director of Services.
Yes.
And I said that it's something that I found there already. At the time, it was difficult for me, though I raised some questions. I used to ask a lot of questions.
Yes.
The Director of Services can bear me witness. Yeah.
Who's the Director of Service at the time?
Lamin S. Sanyang.
Yes.
Yeah, can bear me witness that I used to ask a lot of questions regarding these payments. But upon certain clarifications, I'll still go ahead. Because at the time, I was made to understand that the council is supposed to carry out these works. But when the council staff is engaged, they don't normally do it the way it is expected. Or it will never be done. So the only way to do it to be effective is to contract it out to contractors so that they will do it, especially in the case of clearing illegal dump sites.
Yes.
Yes.
Do you even verify these illegal dump sites? Are they even verified to know exactly how many illegal dump sites there is?
I remember I visited few drains that needed to be cleared, and at that time it was towards the rainy season, I think in 2020.
Yes.
Yeah,
but
when I just
you don't even have to do it yourself. You have the internal audit department. You understand that? So, but for payments that are made, it appears in most cases there is not even a job completion certificate to even ascertain whether monies were not paid in vain, with the notion that probably there may even in fact be a ghost illegal dump site. You understand that? Because it's only the job certificate that would, at least to a great extent, establish the fact that what was paid for was executed.
Like I said, I also raised questions, and I was taken to few places, but I cannot remember visiting a dump site. Oh, I think the only one that I ever visited was the one right opposite the stadium.
Yes.
Now we have a skip there, but they used to also dispose rubbish there indiscriminately. So after clearing that place, a skip was placed there. So these are the few that I can remember.
And we have some, for some payment, we will see, for instance, some procurement forms being filled. The procurement officers, they testified, they clearly admitted that most of these forms were just filled as a matter of procedure. But they would fill these forms to even suggest that procurement was followed. But you look at it, you know that these were not issues that were even discussed at the level of the contracts committee. Yeah,
I said that.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
these were not taken to the contracts committee. Like I said, the director of finance services would come to my office with a list of works to be carried out. Normally, the contractors are also listed against the works to be carried out as an advice that these works need to be urgently carried out.
But you will know and admit that these were wrong payments because they did not follow due process.
I agree.
And even for, if a payment is supposed to be urgent, you will realize that the financial manual did actually address issues in relation to payments that are supposed to be urgent.
Right.
Urgent payments. Do you understand that? So it was a matter of just following the manual to be sure. So why was it difficult, really difficult to follow due process in relation to payments made to several contractors like Lankarabo Suare and others? Why was it difficult?
Like I said, there is always an urgency attached to these works to be done.
And what is the urgency?
Like an illegal dump is discovered somewhere in the municipality.
Yeah, but what is the urgency? What is the urgency?
It has to be cleared with immediate effect.
But why?
Mostly, it's not good for the image of the council.
Yes.
Yes, it's not good for the image of the council.
But it's not the council's fault, to a certain degree, that there is an illegal dump site?
Definitely, it's not the council's fault to a certain degree.
Partly it is the council's fault, but it is not when you have an existing situation. Because you have a situation where there are illegal dump sites continuous.
Yes.
Throughout, and they are not addressed. If you have a new illegal dump site, then that's different. But when you have a certain area that is marked as an illegal dump site and you continue paying money for it over the years, then it eventually becomes the fault of council for not addressing the issue. So where is the urgency? That's my point. It appears as if the council takes part in creating those illegal dump sites. But they could be solved. Why would you not hire employees to go and station in these illegal dump sites?
There are employees also on the ground.
Yes.
If you look at the Malit project,
Yes.
you see the trucks in town with our janitors and the secretaries, the collectors.
Yes.
Normally go with the janitors.
Yes.
So there were staff, and there are still staff.
So why do you have this issue of illegal dump sites continuing?
Like I said, they found existing there.
Yes.
And existing there.
Yes.
And I was trying to, definitely, I also had my doubts here and there, and I was trying to come around it.
How were you seeking to come around it?
To advise them to ensure that the procurement procedure is strictly followed. Normally they come with supporting documents to the invoices that are presented for payment. Then the supporting documents are given to the procurement to process.
Sorry, let me just ask one question. Madam Sonko, on the issue of the illegal dump sites, you will agree with us that there are so many of these sites that are recurrent. Is that correct?
That's right, Madam Chair.
Now, the Environment and Sanitation Unit, don't you think it should have been your duty to make sure that all these illegal dump sites are mapped out, so that when you pay any voucher, you are sure that these are the dump sites that are being referred to in the vouchers, and you work towards making sure that they are cleared, and they are cleared in a way and manner that it will be difficult for reoccurrence. If you don't have the data, don't you think that is what has warranted the continuous payment for the clearing of illegal dump site with so much money being expended, and you cannot account for it?
That's right, Madam Chair. Without data, it will definitely be difficult to ascertain whether these illegal dump sites actually exist, and also to even help in ensuring that they do not occur again. The Environment and Sanitation Unit is under the Director of Services, and the Director of Services was the one who was normally engaged by the council. Sometimes you have a councillor calling upon the director to complain of an illegal dump site or a drain to be cleaned from his ward or her ward. So when that happens, the Director of Services will come to my office with the request, and of course with the endorsement of the mayor. Sometimes it is written, sometimes it's verbal.
But what is very interesting is that these councillors, they represent wards, and for most often these illegal dump sites are situated within particular wards.
That's right. Maybe
throughout the council.
Yes.
But then these councillors, you understand, they are from all these 19 wards. So I am just concerned about the issue of the urgency that you said. And I do agree with council that we do not see the issue of urgency, because if the proper steps were taken in terms of making sure that the available information is brought to the Environment and Sanitation Directorate to get the data that is required, and to sit and discuss as an executive as to how these are to be, because the resultant effect is you putting in money where it's like you're draining the council's resources without effectively using the money to engage on activities that will be beneficial for the people. In as much as it is waste that needs to be collected, but you already have projects in place that are supposed to be collecting waste. Is that not the case?
That's right, Madam Chair. I think at the time the slogan of the council was such that they did not want to see waste anywhere in the municipality with the advent of the Mbalit projects. I think they believe that for the Mbalit project to be effective, the the existing illegal dump sites must be cleared first. In certain cases, they succeeded in making sure that it did not occur again. But there are places still, up to now, if you go there, people are still dumping because of the difficulty in them having access to dispose their waste.
That is why you have a municipal police. And we will come to the strength of your municipal police when it comes to your establishment register. Council, you may proceed.
Yes, I have also some vouchers here, but before that, were you making payments at some point directly to councillors upon request? You had mentioned in your evidence that councillors would write to the office of the mayor, and then there will be request for the CEO. How frequent was this?
When they want to conduct certain activities in their wards, they write, and some of those payments are made to them directly.
Why is that?
But they are expected to retire.
Yeah, but why is that? Why are payments made to them directly?
To go and implement, especially in terms of football matches.
Should councillors be paid money directly? It's a question. Should they be?
I don't think that is right, Council. I don't think that is right, but
it's not even a matter of thinking. I mean, there is nowhere that if you look at the
Barona in power from 2007. 2017 to 2020. Nganawek like I told soto. Ila annual financial statement. Yemin audit. Nia jube sawosa on average. Kodomi yalonko auditol ita account nona is at least $200 million. Sawosa. So neo extrapolate. Nina sanjo minkija anin santima billion fula atambitalale.
Yes.
Nimbanku dolem sawosa ning nawek la kaitol findita sawosa, and that should trigger a special audit.
Yeah.
Yes.
But an amount trigger.
So the audit ka kidla to mi alonko interest holder.
Yes.
Yeah.
So anyanda kala dame mi alonko kumari because kodo mi alonko momalo minketala. Nawek damatu niya kafunyonka. Right now niyo kodota ndella sunsurado krom imbela Gambia jam pour hani outage kanata asa power station no nyim bankuka, because ning average lem $200 million per year ya yo konte capital 2017 kanabi ya estimate abekela jullet, because normally power plant oni ba fenge isa estimate normally 1 million will give you about 1 megawatt.
1 megawatt.
Ndel currently na total generation capacity banko kanjang amansia atambita 50 megawatts.
But if any for you wato kono ngamo iko ngamo to kono de ko ne iko e fene fo kuramo to de ko even fo if any for de ya maybe baro be ndo ko kuramo to mono do ku jande fo
Yeah, no, 50 megawatt is the installed capacity. But the production is about 5 megawatt sign.
Yeah. So until la kuramo mimbe ka fenki ja most of it akabona Senegal and in car power. So until la munto nka kuramo mim generate banko kan jamela time wala siata sai nka minso
Ni beti nyata masino beti. But Senegal ta fango jibe o kuramo mi ka. Senegal kata ko sa na mintole manantali sen independent power producer. Igata ko sa manantali le 23 CFA francs per kilowatt hour. Ina taja wafi mo 132 CFA.
Ibe profit also toka.
Where am told that knowledge?
Exactly.
No,
Senelec is making over 20 billion CFA profit on the Gambia.
So ike banjini ka muna na wolba lo kan Senegal bari ma loja, because mimbe caring ndella janni ni investors bina ka koro dundi la banko kan ko nyanda tala nyamal because ika wala nka ka powership sodo because wol nimmajo
2017 fof sign ka power bija
no be ka power manyanna melaja because nyin kuran sifal ika kele on an emergency
basis yeah
serelion nyin ka min ketela
yeah
itare jikira ka power la watsi de mela kuran jo dan wala muneke yela anko le bondi ten ron kuran i disconnect etata tili mala tili jolleke imam kuran so wato minna woliye nyin ka minna ya bejo jele kuran kulungo nyi murda la kuran fenk ye connection o nyinke ndel jang we are 4 months behind payment to Senegal na tra nyin ka powership le o bata le disconnect e botaja
to ki so man to lo
adu